Hi guys, this video is so long overdue. I know everybody has been waiting for me to start my YouTube channel and record this video. It's a very anticipated video. So today I'm going to tell you about the time my ex cheated on me with his cousin. So I'll say back in 2015, I started dating this guy. I'm going to change the names in the story just for respect purposes. A lot of you that know me probably know who I'm already talking about. Please don't comment anybody's name in the, because if you do, I'm going to have to turn the comments off, just being honest. So I'm going to name him Mike. So back in 2015, I had this boyfriend named Mike, and we met when I was in middle school, so about 13, 14. So by the time I graduated high school and started college, we had started dating. I was with this guy like every single day. Like, we were very close. We were like inseparable. Like, everybody used to be like, oh, y'all a perfect couple. So it would be days that, I would pick him up. Like, I would pick him up every day, bring him home or whatever. And I started noticing that I would pick him up from his old apartment complex. So I was like, who lives here? So he told me his cousin lived here and he was staying the night with his cousin. So I'm like, why haven't I met this cousin? Like, I've met his family. I was very close with his mom and his grandmother. So he was just like, oh, most of the time she be at work, or she's never home when I'm there. I just go there to stay the night. So I'm like, whatever, I don't think nothing of it. So time goes on. We're together for almost a year. Things start going downhill really quickly. And around May, I was in my second semester of college, and I was just going through like some personal things, so I was a little backed up on my homework. So it was the day before my last class, and I remember, I'm like, babe, I don't know what to do. I have 3 essays due by tomorrow. Like, I need help. So he's like, oh, so my cousin, she's an English minor. So I'm like, okay. So he was like, I'll give her an essay to do. I'll do an essay and you do an essay. So we was up till like 4 o'clock in the morning doing these essays. She did a great job. I ended up passing the class with a B. So shout out to Cuzzo. So, like a month later, me and Roger, we ended up breaking up. So
I'm gonna change his name about 2 times.
I said Roger?
It went from Mike to Roger.
I'm gonna have to change that. Can I say that over and you could cut it out?
Just keep going.
Alright, sorry. I messed up his name. His name is Mike. So, I don't know, I got Roger in my head. So, like a month later, we broke up or whatever. So I would see, he lives close to me, so I would see his mom places everywhere all the time. So I remember one day, I seen his mom at the hair store, and I'm like, hi, whatever. So she was like, Mike has been sad since you guys have broken up or whatever. And I'm just like, well, he needs to get his shit together. And, whatever. So I was like, he's been telling me he's been staying, like, you guys got into it. And remind you, he was staying at his cousin's house right before we broke up because him and his mom was having issues. So I asked him, like, is he back home? So she's like, what are you talking about? So I'm like, he told me he was staying at, I'm going to name his cousin Lisa. So I was like, he told me he was staying at Lisa's house. So she's like, Lisa? I'm like, his cousin from his dad's side. So she was like, me and his dad haven't been together for a while, but I know most of his family members. So now I'm sitting there like, what the fuck? So then she's like, girl, I don't know. So I'm like, Detective Bria, so I started to do my homework a little bit. Didn't find anything out, nothing. I went on her Facebook, nothing came across, like as they were messing with each other or whatever. So I'm just like, something's not making sense. So I started dating another guy. I'm going to name him Roger since I have that in my head. So me and Roger started dating. I'm going to say at this time it was around November 2016, I believe. No, November 2017 when I met this guy. So, he was like, do you know anybody from his town or whatever? I'm not going to say what town it is because then again, that's going to give away the person. And he's just like, I was like, yeah, that's my ex-boyfriend. Mike's my ex-boyfriend. So he starts to giggle. So I'm like, what the fuck is so funny? So he was like, oh, so you're the girl. So I'm like, what is that supposed to mean? He said, this whole time, you know, that was my boy or whatever. So I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, we hung out together in the apartment complex that I mentioned to you guys where his cousin saw him one day, and I was over there with Mike and Lisa. So I'm like, his cousin. So he laughs again. So he's like, that's not his cousin. So I'm like, excuse me? He's like, oh yeah, he's been fucking shorty. So I'm like, what? So I'm like, fuck out of here. So then I'm like, what's her name again? So he gives me the girl's name. This is where it gets messy, y'all. I go back to my Google Drive because that name rang a bell, and that was the bitch that wrote the essay for me for school. So not only was he having me pick him up from his side bitch / cousin's house, but that bitch also wrote my essay for me in school. Shout out to the bitch because I got a B- in the class. But I'm just like, this shit is so messy. Like, why is... I live in Connecticut. Why is Connecticut so fucking small? So I'm just like, of course, the new guy that I'm dating was there, and he told me how Mike and Lisa went in the room together, and all he heard was the bed moving and shit got real. He said they came out sweating and shit, and he basically, Mike sat down next to Roger and was like, I get this all the time. So he like, man, don't you got a girl? Me. And he's like, yeah, but she be at work too much, and this is basically convenient vagina. So I'm like, oh, so now it's almost 2 years, no, it's almost a year after we broke up at this time. So my ex, when we first broke up, he would text me from different numbers. He would blow my phone up. So around this time, he texted me out of the blue one day, and I'm like, so what was your cousin's name again? He gave me the girl's name. So I'm like, so we fucking are family members now? And he took forever to text back. Like, the 3 little dots popped up like 4 times, and it would go away, and he wouldn't text me back. So I text him again, and I'm like, oh, you don't have shit to say now. So he was just like, I fucked up, like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, the messy shit about this is I was picking him up from this bitch's house and bringing him there because, of course, me thinking that's his cousin, and who would lie about going to their cousin's house? You know what I'm saying? Especially when you have your girl pulling up. Like, shorty would never come outside. I think I seen her driving one time, and he waved to her, and he was like, there go my cousin that I be staying with. So whole time my ex was fucking his friend. Honestly, it was never his cousin. He tried so many times to get back with me after that. He told me that it was only one time. I think he's fucking lying. We all know he's fucking lying. I don't care if he sees the shit. He know the shit is about him. I'm just not gonna say his name. He know who he is. And that's just the tea in my life. Like, I don't know how y'all will react to that, but when I first found out, it was almost a year after we broke up, so I couldn't really say shit because we weren't together anymore. I had started dating somebody new, but it was just the principle, like, you had this bitch write me an essay for school. Like, you know how lit you gotta be to have your side bitch write an essay for your main girl? Like, nigga, lit. Like, I'm confused. So that's that, and she knows who I am. If she sees this, bitch, fuck you. And that's that. So thank you for watching my very first video. I know that shit was so messy. There's so much to come. So much more to come. I got messy stories for days, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, please, and welcome to my channel. Thank you. That was cute.
Kick off your shirt, yeah, go berserk, yeah. Split on a dick, yeah.